Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. That was pretty cool. The guy stopped by and he said he liked the car. That's heartwarming. I like that. In the last video I uploaded, I talked to you guys about how a lot of you guys have messaging me on Instagram, and specifically one guy named Josh. He's been messaging me and he asked me whether he should get bags or not. So he asked me to make a video on it and talk about the pros and cons of bags. So Josh, if you're watching this video is for you, man. Alright, so if you guys didn't know, this is my car. I've been bagged for, I guess, probably over a year now, roughly. And I have a couple things to say about it. So first things first, we'll talk about the cons of owning bags first, and then we'll talk about the pros. So the first con I have about owning bags is that you're gonna have to do a little bit more maintenance when it comes to, you know, caring about your suspension. Obviously with coilovers are just a solid thing, and you know, they're, I guess, a little bit more reliable. But the thing about bags is over time they could wear down. You have to take care of your tank by releasing some of the pressure in it, as well as draining some of the water that may build up in the tank. So by that I mean a lot of tanks come with water traps, and what you have to do some of the time, or most of the time, is click this little button on the bottom right here, and some of the air will come out and water come out as well. But not to mention, you also have a drain plug on the bottom, which you're gonna have to pull every 2 weeks or so, just to make sure you can empty out all the water completely. But besides maintenance, there's also another thing that is a con that I would say about bags, and it's that they get sketchy sometimes. For example, let's say you're driving through a rough road or something and your airline is exposed, and somehow out of the blue a rock comes out of nowhere and just cuts your airline. What can happen is you're going to be stranded there unless you have some airline with you. That hasn't happened to me, but it has happened to Jericho. If you guys have seen that video, I'll post a little clip of it here. But Jericho's airline actually, not airline, but his entire bag actually popped in the middle of the road, and we have to change his strut in the middle of the road right there. But I do carry some extra airline with me now, just in case something happens. But yeah, if you're not completely careful with your fitment and how your bags are sitting, then you will potentially rub your bag, pop a bag, or pop a line. So that's one of the other cons, and it's that it gets sketchy and a lot of things can go wrong if you don't do things correctly. Another con that I would talk about is some of your suspension components may wear down due to airing up or airing out. For example, right now I'm running stock lower control arms, and I'm also running stock end links, stock, basically everything suspension wise is stock besides the struts. And the cause of me airing up and down all the time is probably causing some of my components to wear down and some of the bushings and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get new ones very soon, because I do hear my struts clanking sometimes when I go over some really deep potholes and stuff like that. You should never do that on the other struts. So it's either my struts that are the problem or my other suspension components, but there's no one way to find out when we replace those. But honestly, I would say that is the biggest con of the car, which is just the sketchiness and the potential for things to go wrong. Not only could things go wrong with your bags itself, the airlines, but things can go wrong electronically. If a wire is perhaps popped or a fuse blew, then you're stranded unless you have extra with you. So that's the only thing about bags that kind of sucks, is that if something goes wrong, it can go really bad really quick unless you're prepared, or unless you have homies that are willing to just help you wherever you are anytime like that. But yeah, but now let's get into the pros. So personally, I love bags, and the thing I love about them most is the practicality of them. A lot of people don't think they're practical, but I think they're practical. So the thing that makes them practical is obviously you can go up and down. You can adjust your ride height on the go, and let's say there's a big dip right over there, and you can't get over it if you were static. But with bags, you just air up, go over that, air back down to your ride height, and it's settled. That is probably the biggest pro I would say about owning bags. The next pro I have to say about owning bags has to be the look of the car. The look of the car on bags is just amazing. Look at this look. It looks great. Coilovers, don't get me wrong, if you are static and you're riding insanely low all the time and you basically look aired out all the time, that's cool too. I love that as well. But with bags, you get that flex factor where you can just air up and you can air down, and I feel like a lot of people tend to break their necks more at the sound of a car airing out at meets, more than a car kind of revving really loud, because everyone does that nowadays in this car community now. Everyone just revs and they think it's so cool. But honestly, whenever I find myself at a meet, whenever I do go to meets and I hear a car air out, I always tend to break my neck and snap my neck a little more just to find out where that sound is coming from. Maybe you guys can relate too, so yeah. Another pro is the freedom to express yourself, and I guess it kind of goes into like the adjustability portion of owning bags. I would say it's nice because if you want to squat your car, make your car look kind of stupid while driving, you can definitely do that. It's anything you really want with bags. But yeah, the freedom to do whatever you want with your ride height is what I would say I love about bags. One con and one pro together, I would say, is the installation factor. For me, installing bags is so fun and so easy. It's probably one of my favorite things to do nowadays whenever I am doing things on a car. Like if anyone asked me to help them install bags, and I know it's not a super hard car and it's something I haven't done before, I will help because it's so fun and it's actually so easy. A lot of people think it's hard because you have to do a lot of things with wiring, because it looks crazy when it comes in the box with all the wires. But really, all it is like 3 or 4 wires, and it's so fun and easy to install. But then that's also a con, because if you don't know what you're doing, then it's gonna be really hard and really difficult. And yeah, but I love it because it's super fun. It's also a great learning experience to learn what to do with your car and how to get started in doing the electrical things with your car. At first, I didn't know how to do anything electrical with my car, but after kind of getting into bags more, I feel really confident about doing anything electrical to my car, whether it comes to my headlights, the bags itself, head units, or anything that has to do with wires themselves. I think it's a really good learning experience, and it makes things really, really fun and great for your car in the future. But in the end, it comes down to you guys. So let me know what you guys think about bags. Do you guys like them? Do you guys hate them? I know there's a big debate about static or bags, and I don't really care. I think they're both great. They both do what they want to do. But me personally, I love bags on not every car, but you know, for cars like I just love to show off and daily and stance around, basically just make it a little more practical, I would definitely love bags. Oh yeah, and one more pro that I have, the ride quality on bags is actually super nice in my opinion. I think the ride quality, it's like, my cousin described it to me as kind of riding on a cloud. So, but don't think of it as like you're floating. I mean, you're basically floating because you're riding on air. But I would say it's nice because I guess it is like you're riding on a cloud. It's pretty smooth, not smooth, but it is stiffer than stock suspension, and it is not as stiff as coilovers, but it's like a fine spot in between where you're still a little bit rough, but also still a little bit, you know, a little bit floaty. But there are also adjustments to adjust your dampening, whether you want your suspension to be softer or harder. So yeah, I think that's also great about bags. So the final pro I have for owning bags is that it basically renews the car. And what I mean by that is if you had your car for a long time and you've done a lot to it and you don't know what to do to it and you haven't bagged it, I say bagging the car renews the entire car and makes the experience an entire new thing. I'm not gonna lie, there was a point where I did want to sell my car. I got bored of it. I did a lot to it within the first year that I got it. I basically finished it in my mind. But then I decided to bag the car because it is something I wanted to do at the end. I bagged it and it just renewed the entire car. I fell in love with the car all over again, and it just basically opened a whole new world of opportunities for me and what I wanted to do for the WRX. Right now, I would say I'm not even halfway done with the car. Maybe a little bit under halfway. There's a lot I want to do to this car. All the small things, a lot of big things, but you know, we'll get into that later. But just saying, it renews the entire car. So if you want to just renew your car, brand new experience, basically start fresh and just basically fall in love with the car all over again, I say you just bag your car. But yeah, the pros and cons, I know everyone has different experiences and different opinions about bags, but honestly, these are my opinions, so don't take my word for it only. Check out some other videos and what other people think about it as well. But coming from me and having all my friends be bagged and me including myself be bagged and going through the ups and downs, these are my pros and cons. And if I think you should get bags, if you can do it financially and you think it'll be great for you, definitely do it. It's a fun thing to have. It's a fun, huge upgrade for your car. Besides that, enough of me talking. I want to know what you guys think, so you guys let me know. What do you guys think of bags? Would you guys get them? Do you guys want to get them? You have any questions about them? Any more questions? Anything I didn't cover? And if you guys want me to answer those, hello.
What video are you doing?
You know, the pros and cons of owning bags. But besides that, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Josh specifically, hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you're kind of settled on what you want, whether you want bags or not, or you want to do coils or whatever you want to do. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it too, Josh. And it was thank you guys for all the support. I just uploaded a video, and I don't know if I'm at 2,600 subscribers yet, but if we are, thank you guys for that little milestone. And if we aren't, thank you guys for getting me super close to that, and we are super close. So if you guys haven't already, subscribe if you guys like the videos, like and comment, and message me on Instagram for anything, video suggestions, comments about your build, anything in general. I love talking to you guys. Thank you guys for all support. Support me, I support you. Love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.